So, welcome back, Mavericks. We will start today's discussion with this video.
Next, Indians living in remote villages in the Himalayas are facing a water crisis. Glacial streams are shrinking and it's hard to fetch water in freezing temperatures. The government is now using special methods to bring tap water to these villages. For her latest report on India's water problems, BBC's Divya Arya travelled to Ladakh to see if they're successful.
13,700 feet above sea level. It's a desert over a mountain. Lamo has lived here all her life and never had tap water.
I keep water for drinking here and for washing utensils here.
She and her husband take me on their daily trek to fetch water. We climb over many lower streams to reach the cleanest source.
Temperatures fall so low that water freezes when left outside. So we fill only as much as we need. If we need 20 liters, we fill 20 liters.
So Lamo has to make daily trips in biting winter. Even that does not suffice.
Traditionally, these glacial springs had enough water to service the drinking water needs of this entire region. But over the decades, as the Himalayan ice has receded, these springs have also shrunk, and this region has had to move its dependence to underground water.
Deep digging is underway. To deliver on the government's promise of providing tap water, pipes and tanks must be saved from freezing.
Ladakh is not like plains where there are overhead tanks from where water is distributed to homes in the village. Here, tanks are built underground to prevent water from freezing.
After a year of preparation, water supply is being tested in the village today.
Hello.
Aya.
Most of the special thermal coated taps remain dry. The local engineer explains that a pipe burst causing leakage. While Lamo waits,
So, here is the question. Please note it down. The Himalayan region is often referred to as the water tower of Asia due to its critical role in sustaining major rivers system. However, the region faces significant challenges in water management, including glacial retreat, increasing water demand, deforestation, and climate change. Analyze the causes of the water crisis in the Himalayas, its far-reaching consequences on ecosystem, agriculture, livelihood, and regional geopolitics. Propose suitable and inclusive solution to address these challenges, keeping in mind the socio-economic and environmental complexity of the region. मैं यूपीएससी के पिछले 10 years के क्वेश्चन रिव्यू कर रहा था. नियर अबाउट 90 to 95 क्वेश्चन देखे मैंने मेंस के रिलेटेड टू जियोग्राफी. उसमें से 12 और 13 क्वेश्चन ना आर रिलेटेड टू दी वाटर मैनेजमेंट. थिंक Saurabh, what do you think? Why Himalaya is facing challenges? The people who are living in the foothills of the Himalayas.
I think that due to the water flowing in different direction, where they are living.
Any other reason? Ritik, what do you think?
सर अकॉर्डिंग टू मी जो हिमालयस रीजन है वो अपर रीजन है, वहाँ पे एक तो ट्रांसपोर्ट का इशू है, ताकि जो हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी है उसको यूज़ करके हम वाटर मैनेज कर सकें, जो वाटर मैनेजमेंट कर सकें, ताकि फ्रेश वाटर का एक रिसोर्स बन सके।
So, Ritik, tell me what is the demand of question. First, elaborate the question.
हिमालयन रीजन मतलब ये सब एक फेस कर रहे हैं, वाटर क्राइसिस फेस कर रहे हैं।
I said, elaborate the question.
The Himalayan region is often referred to as the water tower of Asia due to its critical role in sustaining major river systems.
And then tell me, what is your understanding from water tower of Asia?
Means the major source of water in Asia continent.
To which countries? To how many countries?
Like India, Pakistan, and nearby countries like Afghanistan,
Or
Nepal, China.
or
सर इतना ही आ रहा है यार।
then next line.
However, the region faces significant challenges in water management, including glacial retreat, increasing water demand, deforestation, and climate change. Analyze the cause of water crisis in Himalayas, its far-reaching consequences on ecosystem, agriculture, livelihoods, and regional geopolitics. Propose sustainable and inclusive solution to address these challenges, keeping in mind as the socio-economic and
So tell me, what is your understanding regarding the where it is mentioned at the region faces significant challenges in water management, including glacial retreat. What is the meaning of glacial retreat?
melting of glaciers,
Increasing water demand, deforestation, and climate change. So, what is your understanding regarding climate change? What is climate change?
climate change, change in climate due to natural and man-made activities.
No. Okay. The first part of the question is the Himalayan region is often referred to as a water tower of Asia. Why it is considered as the water tower of Asia? The Himalayas provide water to several countries in South Asia. That's why it is called as water tower of Asia. They provide the water to India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Near about 3.5 billion people lived in these 6 countries: India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. In India, the major source of rivers are Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, and many other minor rivers are originating from the Himalayas, which provide water to a large parts of India. And in the Nepal, Koshi, Gandaki, and in Bhutan, Manas and Sankosh. China, the Brahmaputra, known as the Yarlung Tsangpo, Yarlung, Yarlung, Tsangpo, and other rivers originate in the Tibetan Plateau. And Pakistan, in the Pakistan, the Indus River and its tributary, including Jhelum, Chenab, flow from the Himalaya into Pakistan. Bangladesh, the Ganga and Brahmaputra river originate from Himalaya are key water source for Bangladesh. These rivers support agriculture, drinking water, hydropower, and ecosystem in these countries. That's why we call it as water tower of Asia. And the next line of the questions are, however, the region faces a significant challenge. What kind of significant challenge? In water management. Causes of water crisis in the Himalayas. What are the causes which cause the water crisis in the Himalaya? The first one is glacier retreat. What is the meaning of glacier retreat? It simply means Himalayan glaciers are receding, not reducing. Himalayan glaciers are receding due to rising global temperature, which reducing the long-term availability of fresh water. This impact the perennial flow of rivers fed by glacier meltwater. And now the question is, what is the meaning of perennial flow of river? There are two types of river system, perennial and non-perennial. Perennial rivers are those which flow through the year. They are primarily fed by the glaciers, snowmelt और consistent rainfall. Perennial rivers वो होती हैं जो थ्रू आउट द ईयर फ्लो करती है. एग्जाम्पल के लिए गंगा, यमुना, इंडस, ब्रह्मपुत्र, दीज आर दी पेरिनियल रिवर. और नॉन पेरिनियल रिवर्स कौन सी होती है? दीज रिवर फ्लो ओनली ड्यूरिंग द सर्टेन सीजन्स, प्राइमरली इन द मानसून. सोर्स आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन रेनफॉल दैट मे बी ड्राई अप ड्यूरिंग ड्राई सीजन्स. और इसकी एग्जाम्पल क्या है? गोदावरी, कृष्णा, कावेरी, महानदी. So these are the example of non-perennial river system. The first point is glacier retreat. Second is climate change. But what is the meaning of climate change? To understand the meaning of climate change, first we need to understand what is the meaning of weather. The weather refers to the atmospheric condition, temperature, humidity, precipitation, windfall, etc. in a specific place over a short period of time, such as day or week. I repeat, weather refers to the atmospheric condition such as temperature, humidity, precipitation, wind speed, etc. in a specific place over a short period of time, such as day or week. However, climate refers to the average weather condition of a particular region over a long period, typically 30 years or more. It includes long-term trend in temperature, humidity, precipitation and wind pattern. So weather is short-term and climate is long-term. So when we are referring climate change, it means it impact the weather in a long term of that particular area. So when we are saying climate change impact the Himalayas, it means it increase the frequency of extreme weather events, including erratic monsoon, flash flood, which disrupt the water availability. Rising temperature also leads to faster snowmelt and reduced groundwater recharge. First point, which caused the water crisis in the Himalaya? Glacier retreat. Second, climate change. And third point would be deforestation and land degradation. Large scale deforestation for agriculture, infrastructure and urbanization reduces the capacity of watershed to regulate water. So Saurabh, what will happen if we deforest the area? What is the consequences of deforestation, Saurabh? It means it will increase the soil erosion.
Yes, it will increase soil erosion and also fertility will be less.
Yes, good point.
Yes, sir.
Any other point? Soil erosion can cause landslides.
Yes, sir, and also, sir, some trees also absorb more water, sir.
Yes. So first point is glacier retreat, second climate change, third deforestation and land degradation. Fourth point would be rising water demand. As we know, the population growth and agriculture expansion are straining the already limited water resources. Increased demand for hydropower projects disrupts river flow and displace local communities. जैसे जैसे पॉपुलेशन बढ़ेगी वाटर की डिमांड और बढ़ेगी. And the first point would be pollution. Agriculture runoff, untreated sewage, and industrial waste contaminate rivers and lakes, reducing water quality. We know what is happening with the Yamuna nowadays. अभी तो पॉलिटिक्स भी चल रही है दिल्ली इलेक्शन के कारण यमुना के ऊपर. And the sixth point would be geopolitical tension. So, Ritik, how water crisis in Himalayas would lead to geopolitical tension?
फ्रेश वाटर जो रिसोर्स है वो सर धीरे धीरे सर ख़त्म हो रहे हैं, तो ये तो सर एक टाइप की जियोपॉलिटिकल टेंशन ही है. फ्रेश वाटर का रिसोर्स ख़त्म हो रहा है, मेजर सोर्स ऑफ फ्रेश वाटर ख़त्म हो रहा है.
Ritik, I'm not getting your point. How crisis in the Himalaya region would lead to the geopolitical tension? Are you understanding my question?
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of geopolitics?
Geopolitics, politics.
Geopolitics means the politics in between the countries, not in between the states. So, who are the countries which are benefiting from the Himalayan region water sources?
India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Bangladesh, Pakistan.
So, they will fight for water.
Yes, sir.
Transboundary rivers originating in Himalayas lead to dispute between nations over water sharing, complicating regional water management. We already know there is a prediction from one of the prominent geopolitics scientist was that third world war will be begin because of the water. There is no life without water, we know. So, what would be the consequences of the water crisis? The first point and obvious point would be ecological impact. It would lead to the disruption of aquatic ecosystem and loss of biodiversity. Reduced water flow affects wetland ecosystem, crucial for many species. Second point would be agriculture and livelihood. Irregular water availability impacts irrigation, reducing crop yields and threatening food security. Livelihood dependent on agriculture, fishing and tourism may face instability. The first point is our ecological impact. Second, agriculture and livelihood. The third point would be displacement and migration. Water scarcity and climate-induced disaster force communities to migrate, creating socio-economic pressure in urban areas. Like what happening with Delhi? Lots of people move towards Delhi. Due to that, it impacts the resources of Delhi. So what would be the sustainable and inclusive solution? I will show you one video.
आखिर में उनकी बारी। पानी का रुख अपने खेतों की तरफ मोड़ने के लिए सोनम पाम्बेर और उनकी पत्नी के पास करीब 1 घंटे का समय है। वो मटर उगा रहे हैं। साल दर साल इस मिट्टी में कुछ उपजा पाना मुश्किल होता जा रहा है।
ये खेती जो पहले आज से 70 साल से पहले से हम करते आए अभी तक आया, अभी बहुत हो जाए फर्क हो जाए कि पहले बहुत अच्छा होता था, पानी भी आता था, यहाँ तक हमारे इधर बर्फ़ भी होता है, मौसम भी अच्छा, सब कुछ टाइम पर फसल होता है।
लेकिन यहाँ पानी सीमित ही है और उसे तरहित में रह रहे सभी लोगों के साथ बराबर बांटना होता है। ये गांव उत्तरी भारत के दूरदराज इलाके लद्दाख में है। समुद्र तल से 4000 मीटर ऊपर ये ठंडा रेगिस्तानी क्षेत्र 90 लाख हेक्टेयर में फैला है। करीब 2 लाख लोग यहाँ रहते हैं और ज्यादातर किसानी करते हैं। हजारों साल से ग्लेशियर का पानी सिंचाई के काम आता रहा है, लेकिन इंसानी बदलावों से हुए जलवायु परिवर्तन के कारण बढ़ता तापमान ग्लेशियरों को पिघला रहा है। किसानों की जिंदगी में मुश्किलें आई हैं।
अभी कोई साल की बात तो बहुत मुश्किल लग जाएगा यहाँ ज़मीन करने के लिए, तो पानी कम हो जाएगा। इस साल मौसम भी खराब है, पानी थोड़ा सा कम लगता है क्योंकि टाइम पर पानी नहीं आया।
आज इंजीनियरों का एक दल हालात देखने आया है। ये लोग एक स्थानीय एनजीओ सेकमोल से जुड़े हैं जो सस्टेनेबल भविष्य बनाने में लद्दाख के लोगों की मदद करता है। छोटी सी पहाड़ी धारा में गर्मियों के समय पर्याप्त पानी रहे, ये सुनिश्चित करने के लिए इंजीनियरों ने बौद्ध स्तूप के आकार में बर्फ का एक टीला बनाया है। इस छोटे से आर्टिफिशियल ग्लेशियर में सर्दियों के दौरान पहाड़ों से बहकर आया पानी जमा रहता है और गर्मियों में यही पानी काम आता है।
पे एग्रीकल्चर प्रैक्टिसेस नहीं होता है क्योंकि बहुत ठंड होता है, तो एग्रीकल्चर यहाँ पे सिर्फ समर में होता है। तो जो विंटर का जो पानी है वो वेस्ट होता है, वो यहाँ से जाके इंडस रिवर में मिलता है, इंडस रिवर में जाके पाकिस्तान से फिर ओशन में मिल जाता है। तो उस वेस्ट वाटर को हम बचाने के लिए एक आर्टिफिशियल ग्लेशियर बनाते हैं।
ये स्तूप लकड़ी के एक फ्रेम पर टिके हैं। सर्दियों में भूमिगत पाइपों से यहाँ पानी सही जगह तक पहुँचाया जाता है। दबाव में अंतर की वजह से पानी ऊपर की तरफ उछाल मारता है। सर्दियों की हवा का तापमान -20 डिग्री सेल्सियस रहता है, इसलिए गिरते ही पानी जमकर कोन यानी शंकु का आकार बना लेता है। कुछ 100 किलोमीटर दूर लिक्त्से गांव है। यहां भी लोग जूझ रहे हैं। यहां गर्मियों में सिर्फ 50 मिलीमीटर बारिश होती है, लेकिन कुछ चीजें बदली हैं। आज स्कलजंग यांगचेन पालक की सूखी पत्तियों का सूप बना रही हैं। वो और उनके पति खुद पालक उगाते हैं। वो पहले सिर्फ आलू ही उगा पाते थे।
हम बैंगन, मिर्च, पालक और शिमला मिर्च उगाते हैं। सर्दियों के लिए सुखा लेते हैं।
किसान अपने खेतों को मल्च भी करते हैं। पुरानी सड़ी गली पत्तियां और घास फूस वहीं छोड़ देते हैं। बारिश का थोड़ा बहुत जो भी पानी है उसे मल्चिंग की मदद से मिट्टी बेहतर ढंग से सोख पाती है और वो फौरन वाष्प नहीं बन जाता। ये उन्होंने जिग्मेत यांगचेन से सीखा। वो लेह में एक कृषि शोध संस्थान में वैज्ञानिक हैं और लोगों को जलवायु के हिसाब से ढलने में मदद कर रही हैं।
हम कोशिश कर रहे थे कि इसमें प्रोग्रेसिव ये जितने भी फार्मर्स हैं उनको हम न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी से उनको रूबरू से मिलाते हैं। और ये देख सकते हैं अभी सब लोगों ने अपनी खेती वेती।
इस समय जिग्मेत नजदीकी गांव केसर में है, जहां वो बदलती स्थितियों में खुद को ढाल रही स्थानीय महिलाओं को सस्टेनेबल आजीविका चलाने में मदद कर रही हैं। उन्होंने ग्रीन हाउस बनाने में मदद की। ऐसे ही एक ग्रीन हाउस का इस्तेमाल 16 परिवार करते हैं। जरूरी बिजली सौर पैनलों से मिलती है। राज्य के सब्सिडी कार्यक्रम के जरिए वित्तीय मदद आती है।
वही बात है सर, बाकी तो ऐसे ठीक है। अभी तो हम लोग पूरा मान लो ये इसी के कहना सर, हम लोग खाना पीने के लिए तो सब्जी हो जाएगा, खरीदने का जरूरी नहीं है, नहीं तो हम लोग बहुत दूर जाना पड़ता है।
महिलाओं ने वर्कशॉप्स में खेती के गुर सीखे। शुरुआत में जिग्मे त्यांगचेन ने नई फसल के लिए बीज सरकारी पैसे से जुटाए।
चंगतंग में आज के दौर में वो हर चीज 16,700 फीट पे मैंने मशरूम लगाया, स्ट्रॉबेरी लगाया, वाटरमेलन लगाया, टोमेटो लगाया, तो वो और -17 डिग्री में मशरूम निकाला। आज के दौर पे आप कोई नहीं बोल सकता चंगतंग में कुछ नहीं हो। उसके लिए हमने टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत
जलवायु परिवर्तन लद्दाख वासियों के लिए बड़ी चुनौती बन गया है। पर्याप्त भोजन उगा पाएं तभी वो यहाँ हिमालय की ठंडी बर्फीली वादियों से घिरी अपनी जन्मभूमि में रह पाएंगे।
So we are also need to think along these lines, a creative thinking. So there will be many solution, because if there is a problem, there is always a solution. We need to think creatively. Sustainable and inclusive solution for Himalayan water crisis would be, the first one is climate resilient policies. We need to promote renewable energy over hydropower project that disrupt the river ecosystem. We need to implement adaptive measures for agriculture, such as drought resistant crops and efficient irrigation technique. Second point would be glacier and watershed conservation. We need to establish protected area for glacial and watershed ecosystem. We need to employ afforestation and reforestation program to restore degraded catchment. The third point would be community-led water management. This is very important. Empower local communities through training in water conservation practices like rainwater harvesting and traditional irrigation system. It involves local stakeholder in decision making for hydropower and other water intensive projects. Like we saw in the video, this is possible due to the participation of local community. So community level participation is very important for any solution for long term, because that is a sustainable solution. Next point would be technological innovation. We need to develop and deploy low-cost water purification and desalination technologies to improve access to clean water. We can use satellite data and AI for real-time monitoring of glacial health and river flows. So in the conclusion, we can say that the Himalayan water crisis is a multifaceted issue requiring a balanced approach that integrates socio-economic, environmental and geopolitical dimensions. Sustainable solution demand collaboration among local communities, government and international organizations. By prioritizing conservation, equitable water distribution and climate adaptation, the region can ensure water security for future generations while preserving its ecological and cultural heritage. So today we will discuss about the Arunachal Himalayas. These extend from the east of Bhutan Himalayas up to the Dipu Pass in the east. The general direction of the mountain range is from southwest to northeast. And some of the most important peaks of this region are Kangtu and Namcha Varva is one of the most important peak, which is asked by UPSC many times. It is related to the Brahmaputra because Brahmaputra flows through a deep gorge after crossing Namcha Varva. And some of the important rivers from Arunachal Himalayas are Kameng, the Subansiri, the Dihang, the Diwang, and Lohit. Please note it down, these are very important rivers. These are perennial with high rate of fall, thus having the highest hydroelectric power potential in the country. If someone asks you which area of India has the highest hydroelectric power potential in the country, so we can say that Arunachal Himalayas. In the Arunachal Himalayas, numerous ethnic tribal communities inhabiting such as Monpa, Abor, Mishmi, Naishi, and the Nagas. Most of these communities practice huming, also known as shifting or slash and burn cultivation. So what is the meaning of shifting cultivation? In simple terms, we can say shifting cultivation is a traditional farming method where farmers clear a small patch of forest by cutting and burning the trees, grow crops on the land for years, and then move to a new area when the soil loses its fertility, as you mentioned rightly. The abandoned land is left to recover naturally while they farm a different plot. It is majorly practiced in Nagaland and Mizoram. इसकी एडवांटेज क्या है? It works well in area with poor soil and heavy rains. Doesn't need machines or fertilizer. और disadvantage क्या है? Destroy forest and wildlife, reduce soil fertility over time, produces less food for growing population. What would be the better alternatives? Agroforestry, modern farming techniques. Arunachal Himalayas region is rich in biodiversity, which has been preserved by indigenous communities. Due to the rugged topography, the inter-valley transportation linkages are normal. Last division would be Eastern Hills and Mountains. I want to show one video related to the one natural feature which is happening in the Eastern Hills and Mountains, which is very important also in the context of UPSC. So watch it carefully. This is the world only floating national park. So watch it carefully.
In the Indian state of Manipur, you will find Kaipo Lamjau National Park, the world's only floating wildlife sanctuary. Kaipo Lamjau comprises over 15 square miles of rich biodiverse wetlands and includes Loktak Lake, the largest freshwater lake in northern India. The park is known for patches and rings of biomass that float on the surface of the wetlands. The floating vegetation, called fumdi, thrives in the park, creating a home for humans and animals alike. The endangered sangai, a subspecies of brow antlered deer, are only found in the park. They have been called the binding soul between humans and nature. The songhai was believed to be nearing extinction in the 1950s, but thanks to aggressive conservation efforts, their numbers have steadily increased to more than 200. Still relatively unknown outside the region, Kaibu Lamjau National Park is truly one of India's hidden gems.
So Ritik, what is your observation regarding this video?
In Manipur, there is a floating national park.
Okay. On which lake?
का नाम याद है यार.
Loktak Lake.
Loktak Lake.
Loktak. This is very important. Loktak. Okay. Which is found in which state of India?
Manipur.
Yes. And what are the distinctive feature of Loktak Lake? Floating island. Or which deer found on that floating island? Shanghai deer. We can also call it as a dancing deer. We have watched in the video, na? In Loktak Lake, Fumdis are distinctive features. They are naturally floating island, and that particular geological feature only found in India in state of Manipur. The name of the national park, Kabul Kamjo National Park. Note it down. Kabul, Keibul, Lamjo National Park. This is the only floating island in the world. There is one most Saurav, which is the largest freshwater lake in India and where it is located? Saurav, are you there? Ritik? No. I am talking about largest freshwater lake. Sir, note it down. Bular Lake, which is found in Jammu and Kashmir. Bular Lake. This is the important fact which can be asked in the prelims. Bular Lake is the largest freshwater lake in the India, located in the Jammu and Kashmir. So, which is the largest saltwater lake in India? It is Chilka Lake, Chilka, Chilka Lake, located in Odisha. So, we discussed about this 5 division of Himalayas. First, we discussed Kashmir or Western Himalayas, which includes like Ladakh, Janskar, Karakoram and Kashmir Valley. Then we discussed Himachal and Uttarakhand, which includes prominent ranges like Doladar, Pir Panjal and valley like Kangra and Kullu. Then after we discussed Darjeeling and Sikkim, in which we discussed features like Kanchenjunga, Nathula Pass and tea plantation. And we discussed Arunachal Himalayas, which is rich in biodiversity. And last one is Eastern Hill and Mountains. There are three very important hills about these eastern hills and mountains: Naga Hills, Mizo Hills, and Manipur Hills. Now, note it down. This is very important. Examine the role of northern and northeastern Himalayas in shaping India's society, economy, politics, culture, international relation, disaster management, environment, and sustainable development.